Hello, my second grade friends, and welcome to computer class. Today we are going to talk about three things. Two things are kind of new words, I think, or new ideas for you, and one is a review word. So let me share my screen. So the first reminder, boys and girls, is that when you go to the computer class lesson, you're going to go to your teacher's Google Classroom. When you get there, you're going to go on the left side where it says all topics and click the computer icon for your computer lesson. This one is called ACROSTIC poem, which is one of our newer words that we're going to talk about today. And you're going to actually write an acrostic poem today by the end of the lesson. And that's what you'll be turning in to me. We're going to learn and talk about acrostic poems. We're going to talk about text boxes. And we're going to talk about what these slides look like, because that is a special computer word that we're going to learn today too. So let's go to our I can statement. And it says, I can learn about the difference between landscape and portrait mode. Those are two computer words that we're going to talk about today, boys and girls. We're going to practice typing in a text box, which is something we've done before. And we're going to write an acrostic poem. Okay, so those are the three things that we're going to work on in today's computer lesson. And this is for the week of March 1st. So let's take a look at the first star. Learn about the difference between landscape and portrait mode. I want you to take a second to look at these slides. Do they look different to you? I'm going to show you my kindergarten lesson this week. This is what their slides look like. Look at the shape. Look at the position of the slide. These slides are what they call landscape. And when you think of a landscape, boys and girls, think about being outside when the sun is rising or the sun is setting and you're looking across the horizon. You're looking at the beautiful landscape. It kind of goes wide and across. And that's what these slides look like. They're kind of wide this way. That's called landscape. Now let's look at the second grade lesson. This is called portrait. Those slides are tall this way, just like you're growing taller. This is called portrait. A portrait, boys and girls, is a picture of somebody. And so often they put portraits in a frame that looks like this shape. So it's a tall portrait. And so today's lessons, all of these slides are in what we call portrait mode. So usually they're in landscape that looks like this. If you look over here on the left, the boxes are long this way like a landscape across the land. Today's lesson for the acrostic poem is tall slides that are called portrait mode. A text box, boys and girls, is when you click, you see a blue box and then you can type in it. The letters are called text, or the words. And remember, while you're practicing, you're going to do real world typing today. So I don't have a keyboard lesson for you, but your keyboarding is going to be to try to use both of those hands and see if you can set up those fingers, especially your strong fingers on that home row, on that F and J, and let those fingers just rest on the other keys. Because we're going to write an acrostic poem today. On slide number 3 is a little video, which we're going to click this to listen to a quick video about what an acrostic poem is. So let's give this a listen.
Today we are going to learn all about acrostic poetry. An acrostic poem spells the word down the side. It uses the letters in a topic word to begin each line. All lines of the poem should relate to or describe the poem.
Okay, so an acrostic poem. The first thing you need to know about it is that the word is spelled down the side, and we're going to look at that in a minute. So instead of going across like words normally go, you're going up and down the side. And it uses letters in a topic word to begin each line. And the lines of the poem relate to the topic word. So they don't have to rhyme, boys and girls, but the idea of an acrostic poem is to try and write words that tell about that word that's written going down.
Today, I will write a poem about a teacher. As you can see, I have written the word teacher down the side.
See how she wrote the word teacher going down. So she made a T, and then underneath it, she made an E, and then an A, C, H, E, R, all going down. If you were doing that on a keyboard, boys and girls, you'd tap the letter that you need, and then you would press Enter to make the cursor or blinky go to the next line.
I will then write describing words beginning with each letter in the word teacher to create my poem. Teacher. Talented, extraordinary, awesome, curious, happy, energetic, and really cool.
Now you'll notice, boys and girls, most of the time, she just wrote one word to describe the teacher. But at the bottom one on the R, she wrote really cool. And sometimes it's easier to think of words if you think of them as a short sentence or even a phrase. So instead of writing extraordinary, she could have written extra nice, or instead of awesome, she could have said always helping her students or something like that. So it doesn't have to be one word. It can be 2 or 3 or even 4 short words, like a short sentence to describe. And the idea is in this poem is to think of words that describe whatever your word is going down. Now this particular one is teacher. We're not going to do a teacher acrostic. We're going to do something else. But let's finish off this little video.
All of these words describe what a teacher means to me. Now it is your turn. Have fun writing your own acrostic poem.
Okay, so now we're going to write an acrostic poem. So I'm going to shut the video off up here. And boys and girls, you certainly can watch that video again if you want. It just gives you a quick description of an acrostic poem with an example. But remember, we're not doing the word teacher. We're doing a different word. Slide number 4 explains that now you're going to write your own acrostic poem using the word computer. You might have guessed that. Remember, you need to think of words to describe or tell about computers using the letters that spell computer. Let's go to the next slide. Slide number 5 is just a little reminder to strap on those thinking caps. And slide number 6 is the helper slide, because here is a list of computer words that you can use if you need some help. If you can't think of a word that begins with a C that has something to do with computers, here's some examples. Cyber safety. We just studied and learned about that. The word computer. You could say computers are fun, or computers help us. Something like that, a little short phrase just using the word computer. Clip art. CPU, that's the brain, the central processing unit. The word copy is often associated with computers because you copy things and then paste them somewhere else. You've practiced that before. Caps lock is a keyboard computer term, and control key is also on the keyboard. So those are just some words that begin with C that have to do with a computer, boys and girls. You can certainly think of your own words. You don't have to use these words. They're just helper words if you get stuck. So I have some that begin with C. I have a few with O and M. There's your list with the letter P. There's a few U words down here, T, a couple of E words, and then R. So I've given you some choices, but again, you don't have to use these. You can come up with your own. That's on slide 6. Slide 7 is just a reminder about what an acrostic poem is. Remember, it uses the first letter of a focus word, and our focus word is computer, to begin the line of the poem. The focus word, computers, is going to be written down the left side of the poem. Each letter in the focus word begins a thought about the focus word, about the topic. All of the lines are about that focus word. Now we're going to go to the next slide and start typing. All you have to do is click next to each letter and type a computer word or a computer sentence, a short sentence. So on slide 8, look at that. In my favorite color, orange, I have the word computer. So I'm going to click. There's my text box. Get my hands ready. And I could type in computers, whoops, are fun, or computers help us, or just the word computer. You could type in whatever you'd like. And again, if you can't think of a word for that, you can click back up on slide 6, check your list with all your C words, and then come back and type it in. Now, do you see this red line? The reason that's happening, boys and girls, is because I didn't type another C here. If I do, my red line goes away. But I don't want to because then it looks funny. It says C, computers are fun. I think it's better to just leave it like this so that this is right next to the letter C and it shows me my line. So do not worry about the red lines that might pop out. Okay, then I go to the letter O. I click right next to the O. I think about an O word, something I can say about computers that begins with the letter O. And again, I can look back at my list. I have offline, online, operating system. Those are just some O words. You certainly can type in your own. You can say opposite of outside, because most of the time you're inside when you use a computer. So you can be as creative as you'd like, or if you need some help, you certainly can use the word list. So you're going to click next to each letter. You'll notice each time I click, the text box comes out and I type in it. You do not have to do an acrostic poem in order, boys and girls. So if I think, oh, I think I have a really good one for R, I can come right down to R and type really fun. Because if I think that computers are fun, because I said that up here, I can say it down here too. Okay, so I'm going to erase my ideas because I know your ideas will be better. Alrighty, so that is your job today, boys and girls. Now I also have a bonus job for you on slide 9. You do not have to do this. See how it says bonus right here? But it says a picture always reinforces the concept or the idea. So if you would like to draw a picture of your computer acrostic, putting some of the little words and phrases in your picture and drawing a picture of the computer, then take your picture of it. You can include it on this slide right here, on slide number 10. And I know you guys do this a lot in your classrooms for your teachers. You have to take pictures of your work and insert it in. So remember, you go to insert image from your camera, or some of you might need to use this icon that shows the image and then the camera button. But that's an option, boys and girls. You don't have to do that if you don't want. You just get extra bonus points if you do. And slide number 11 is just a reminder on how to turn it in. Okay, don't forget, you X out, you press view assignment, and then turn in. Okay, so that is your lesson on acrostic poems, boys and girls. And I hope that you learned a little bit about portrait mode, up and down tall, landscape mode, going side to side, text box, you're going to need that when you come to slide number 8 and you need to start typing, and of course acrostic poems. So don't forget, if you want to watch this little video again, just to remind yourself on what one is, and you can write your very own acrostic using the word computer. I can't wait to read them. All right, boys and girls, I hope everybody has a great time with these acrostic poems, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.